Been arrested in Sydney and Melbourne as thousands of Aussie students protested federal budget spending cuts to education. Prime Minister Tony Abbott's defended his radio wink, claiming he was reacting to the host's expression and not the talkback caller. Chaotic scenes on the streets of Melbourne and Sydney today as furious students vented their anger at the Abbott government's changes to higher education.
No corporate universities, no cuts, no fees!
Students around the country are fuming, and today they're being so vocal about it, they've even got the PM running scared.
It's the National Day of Action apparently today, which happened to coincide with a planned visit to Deakin University, and in order to avoid inconveniencing the police and inconveniencing others, I've decided to postpone the visit.
And he's got good reason to be worried. In the past few days, angry students have roughed up both Julie Bishop and Sophie Mirabella. So what's changing? From 2016, unis can charge whatever they want and the government's contribution to degree costs will go down by 20%. Graduates will also have to start paying their debt back sooner, and interest could go up as high as 6%.
These changes mean that future generations will find it even more difficult to access higher education, and the changes will most affect those who are already disadvantaged.
Aussie higher ed has changed a lot. Back in 1943, the government upped the number of university scholarships and let women apply for them. Then in '67, Canberra introduced colleges of advanced education. They were cheap and got you a profession. The 70s were a game changer.
Ross Whitlam scrapped all fees, so it was free for the first time, I think, ever. And I got a free university education. I believe Joe Hockey also got a free university education.
Fast forward to '89, and Bob Hawke reintroduced uni fees and also gave us HECS. Howard reformed HECS, but that's pretty much been the system as we know it. Until now.
The changes could have a big effect and a negative effect on our future. First of all, what they do is they further privilege the already privileged. This will impact on us for decades.
So with a saving of just $3.2 billion over 4 years, is it worth getting today's students so riled up and potentially costing students of the future an education as we know it?
Treasurer Joe Hockey is with us to talk budget fallout. Now, Joe, I assume you were politically active at uni. Did you ever protest?
Well, yes, I did, in fact, and I'm sure you've got the old tapes of it somewhere.
Birds of a protest for free education in 1987 include none other than a young Joe Hockey. Where is he?
We will continue to go out onto the streets and to protest.
Who's a pretty boy?
And actively encourage the public to support us in our campaign for free education.
What did you protest about?
Well, at the time, that was the first introduction of university fees. And at that time, there was no HECS or HELP as it's now known. So we obviously were concerned about the fact that we were paying fees up front.
You protested against fee changes at university. Can you understand now why students are so upset about the changes you're proposing?
Well, I understand why they're upset.
So, Joe, buddy, are you prepared to accept that you've probably attended your last O Week?
Oh, I've got a lot of fond memories and a lot of forgotten memories from O Weeks, so I'm happy to see them out. I must say there were memories that came back with some of the student protests that I saw on TV today. But you know what? In your 20s, you're always prepared to complain, but in your 40s, you have to explain.
Joe, are you worried though that you're going to be renowned and known as the treasurer that tripled the cost of universities? No, because ultimately we will fall further behind unless we give our institutions the opportunity to compete with what is a massive emergence of new competition out of Asia and right around the world.
Joe, are you at all concerned about consumer confidence dropping? Because that's going to be one way to certainly not stimulate the economy.
Well, yes.
You might be right. You might be right.
Well, thanks, Joe. We do appreciate your time and what has been a pretty hectic week.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Sometimes it just sounds stupid.
Yeah. We'll be back after the break.